On this episode of Delivering Marketing Joy, we talk with Dana Zezzo in his new position, and we talk with Dana about the difference between being a supplier and a distributor. Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. I'm your host, Kirby Hasseman, and joining me today is not only a rock star, but he's a good buddy of mine, Dana Zezzo. He is the VP of Marketing and Vendor Relations from American Solutions for Business. It's a new title. Dana, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me again, Kirby.
Oh, absolutely. You're my man. That's awesome.
I love it.
So let's talk about that. You just made a big transition in our industry, going from one side of the business, the supplier side, to the distributor side. So, look, tell us about that and tell me how it's going.
I think we're about 60 days in, maybe just over 60 days. It's going great. It's definitely like drinking through a fire hose, that's for sure. It's been a really great transition. Obviously, American is headquartered out of Minnesota, and I don't know, every rumor that you've ever heard about how nice Minnesota people are, it's absolutely true. There's no doubt about it. So, we're kind of building it as we go. Justin and I spend time together when we can. He's the president, and we're just kind of mapping this out and understanding where my skill sets are and where my network is, and how we can use that to help American from mainly a vendor relations side. And we're starting to kind of doing some deep dive into some marketing stuff. But it's been awesome. It's been awesome, but it's been like comfortable, and I think that's what's been cool. It's been comfortable. It's been relatively stress-free, other than the stress I put on myself to try to get caught up, because there is a lot going on this side that I maybe, will say I was a little naive to.
Fair. So what's been your biggest surprise so far? And maybe it has to do with what you just said, maybe not. The American has a very open vendor attitude, so it's been understanding how big that network is and how do we use that network, and how do we partner with that vendor network better. So when it's so big, it's a little bit, and obviously I think the biggest thing that I've had to kind of adjust to is understanding that half of that network is print. American is a very strong print distributor across the country, and the print is new to me. So everyone's trying to be very patient with me with my lack of print knowledge, and especially the print vendors. I'm sure they're like, "Oh gosh, who's this guy?" But obviously the response from the promo vendors has been awesome. But just digesting it and understanding. What's going on. I also oversee events. I really have three groups. I have the vendor relations side of it, which American has a nice team that handles that on a day-to-day basis. And I have the marketing team, which is a young group, and they're awesome. They have all kinds of great ideas. And then I have events, and just I think the biggest eye-opening thing is obviously the print side of the business. That's been a big eye-opener. And then from an event standpoint, just understanding it from a distributor point of view, and how expensive these things are, and how hard it is to sometimes even just break even. And I don't think the vendors realize that when they see the ticket, the sticker prices on these shows. They're probably like, "Oh, this is just a huge revenue stream for you," and it's not. Expensive. For sure. That makes total sense. And as a guy, as you know, we're getting ready to do our big event for the year. I totally can feel you.
The outdoor show, right?
That's right. Yeah. So
I love your title.
Yeah. Thanks, man. So I guess third question, right? What are you most excited about in the new role?
I think I'm most excited about just the taking the vendor relation. It's a little bit of each department, actually. It's both of them. When Justin brought me on board, it's kind of the first time in my career for a while, and I don't want anyone to misinterpret what I'm going to say, so I'm going to kind of go a couple different directions here, but where nothing's really broke.
Right. some of my last roles are, and broke's a strong word. I don't want the people who hired me previously or had me work on their projects that they're broke, but they were in situations where they needed to define their culture or their sales teams or their marketing plans or their go-to-market strategy. And there were big projects.
There was a specific thing that they were bringing you in to do.
Right, exactly. Where this one, there wasn't something there that underlying. It's really just getting in and learning the culture and learning the people and learning where, as we go, where my skill set will be best applied. So that's kind of cool because there's not this big hanging thing over me to figure this out, whatever it is, out. It's just kind of, we're going to figure it out as we go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That makes total sense. So that was quick, man. You answered my 3 questions. So you know the drill. You've been on here once or twice before, right? So I give everybody a chance to ask me one question. Now that you've had the chance to ask the question when you're on the supplier side, now you're on the distributor side. Do you have a question for me?
Yeah, my question would be kind of, let's go back to your show that's coming up. It's exciting. One, how did you create your theme? And two, how important has it become to your customer base to have that event?
That's a great question. So I'd say the way that we create the theme is we sort of sit around the table and decide what kind of food we want to eat that day. There's it's sort of a joke, but sort of true. No, we've been doing it for over 10 years. We were actually pretty early in the end user show game. Like there were not very many people doing it when we first started doing it. It's much more around the industry now. And so we've been doing it for so long that it's like, well, what's the theme this year? And so each year we kind of try and do one. And so this one will be fun, the great outdoors. The answer to the second part of your question, it's interesting, is every year, Dana, I go, okay, do we want to keep doing it? And not because I think it's a bad thing, but because I think it's important to ask that question over all the stuff you do. You don't want to just do it because you've always done it. And literally I had this question today. I'm like, okay, what are we measuring? What are we doing? How do we, I want to make sure that it still makes sense for the customer base. Because when we started it, it wasn't necessarily a trade show. We called it a customer appreciation show. And so I think from the perspective of just making sure if those customers just come in and feel appreciated, then it's a win, right? It's developed, we call it the trade show, so that non-customer prospects feel comfortable coming, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so I would say that, we come up with it based on food because, what do you why not? And then, yeah, I think it really is a big part. And I think part of it is just getting our sales team excited about it too. And so if it does that, then I think it still provides value. So does that make sense?
It makes total sense. And it looks like, hopefully, are you having a cookout involved in it?
Yeah, we've got pulled pork, local barbecue place where they do pulled pork and all that sort of thing. And it's pretty legit food. So that's what I'm probably looking forward to as much as anything else.
Well, I'll be looking forward to the invite for leftovers.
Yeah, okay, that seems right. It's your turn to come to me. So
it is.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, thank you so much, and good luck in the new role. And thanks so much for taking the time. Okay.
Thanks, Kirby. Love you, buddy.
All right, love you. Hey, this will wrap up this edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll see you next time.